All right, we are recording. So I labeled this call Real Talk because I just kind of wanted to come on here and just kind of share like some truth with you guys and share my heart with you guys, kind of unfiltered. You know, I said warning, I might get a little bit passionate, but really I'm not going to talk about anything that crazy, but just a couple of things that have been brought to my attention or kind of have been asked about or talked about, and things that I feel like you guys might just need to hear. So this isn't really like a training call. This is more so like a few things that I'm going to tell you guys that you probably need to hear because I've needed to hear them, and I have to continue to remind myself of them. So I just downed my last green container, and I'm pretty sure there's probably tomatoes in my teeth. So it's totally cool, but whatever. All right. So I wanted to start by kind of going into my story of 2017 and kind of how it brought me to where I am now. I think most of you guys kind of know that 2017 was like a major transition year for me. There was a lot that transpired, a ton of struggles. And in the moment, it was really kind of hard for me to understand what was going on. And now it's like I kind of had that silver lining moment. And I walked into 2018. Well, before I walked into 2018, I literally prayed, went to church, and told God, I can't carry this load anymore of everything that was dumped in my lap. There was drama going on between MLM companies that I ended up right in the middle of with people that I cared about. Situations that I didn't want to be involved with that I literally felt like I had no control over. Then boom, after that, like out of nowhere, I got all this crap with my health just like dumped in my lap. A doctor looks at me, tells me, you know, these results came back and we have to check to make sure you don't have cancer. I don't have health insurance at the time. Okay. So I literally had to spend 7 months like in my head trying to talk myself out of the fears of like what could be and what if. And so the main fear was my health and cancer. Okay. And I would have these moments where like I was just so afraid, like I can't leave my kids can't live without me, like, and those thoughts would go through my head. And then before I knew it, it was like just anxiety and fear just took over every area in my life. So then there were the things going on in my business. So I'm struggling with this mentally, my health, the fear of dying. To be totally honest with you guys, there was a huge part of me that at one point I was like, this is it. Like I'm dying, you know, past that now we're good. But there was a time where that was going through my head. So I'm trying to juggle all these thoughts. And it was hard. It was really, really difficult. It was not only hard to go through, but it was hard to explain. It was even hard to explain to Tyler. Until you're in a situation like that, you just can't find the words. You can't explain what's going through your head. You have moments where you're like, okay, like I want to get out of my own head and I want to move past this. But then you go back to but what if it is cancer? And I don't know. I'm not going to know for 7 months. So it was like this constant back and forth battle. And I was like exhausted, guys. For like the first time in many, many years, I was in a really bad, kind of hopeless spot. So at the end of 2017, I was just like, God, I can't carry this load anymore. I am surrendering it to you, and I am walking into 2018 with a different outlook, a different mentality, and I don't know what it's going to take, but you're going to help me through this, and, you know, we'll figure it out. So it's really crazy, guys. It's like it all changed. It all changed, and my business is amazing right now. I'm getting good answers about my health. I kind of just released all of that, and just releasing it started to change everything. Okay. So if you guys are going through something, really try to just surrender it and tell yourself it's going to be all right. And I'm going to move forward. Okay. So anyways, in the moment when all that was going on, which, by the way, just so you guys know, I mean, you guys already know from my post, but I don't have the answer yet. It wasn't like somebody looked at me and said, you don't have cancer. You know, I don't know if I do or not. But I'm not scared anymore. I'm not worried. I know it's going to be okay. I feel good in my heart. So in the moment of all of that, though, I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't deserve this. This is all stuff that's out of my control. I literally have no control over it. There's nothing I can do about it. And I didn't understand it. And now looking back, I can tell you guys, I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know what we're going to find out tomorrow. I don't know what the future holds, but I can honestly say that these last 7 months of my life, I'm freaking so grateful for them, because it has like completely changed me as a person and as a coach and as a business owner and as a mom and as a wife, and every area in my life. It has taught me so much. And I just feel compelled to really share this with you guys. For those of you that maybe haven't had those moments, or you're still caught up in the wrong things, and the wrong things are holding you back and you can't let them go, or the wrong things are bringing you unhappiness, or whatever it is. Yes, bud. Okay, go ahead. Sadie will go with you. So I seriously learned what was important, okay, during these last 7 months, because when you're faced with the mentality of like, I don't know, life could be short, you start to really realize like what's important. And I realized for me that there's like nothing more important in the world than time with my kids. And I began to like sit back and think more about like all the time I do have with my kids, and how much I honestly had taken for granted the fact that Beachbody allowed me that time with my kids. Because if I didn't have Beachbody, guys, I would still be doing hair like every day. And hair takes a long time. It's like an all-day thing. Or I would be going to work and working a 9-to-5 job, or I would be back in school, or whatever it is. And I would not have that time with my kids. And I seriously had started taking that for granted, because it's one of those things that when, you have it for so long, you just start taking everything for granted. Honestly, when you go through life we all have those moments where we forget how short it can be, and we start taking everything around us for granted. So I sat back and realized like, holy crap, you've really been taking this business for granted. And not that I wasn't still putting my heart into my business or anything like that, but I was approaching it from a totally different perspective. Instead of approaching it like coming in, like, I am so thankful to be able to work with these challengers. And I am so thankful to have this team to do these team calls with. And I am so thankful when my coaches come to me with questions and I can help lead them. And truly finding how thankful I am for the business again. You're fine. You're fine. Go lay down. So it changed that whole perspective for me, from my business to every part of my life. It also taught me to stop being so freaking scared of what everybody else thinks. Because you know what? At the end of your life, in the end of the day, what everybody else thinks about you doesn't freaking matter, okay? There is nobody in the world that's better than you, that has it all together. People paint a beautiful picture and they might make you feel inferior, but trust me, the freaking person right now that you have on a pedestal that you think is the most superior person in the world, they have just as many issues and problems as the rest of us, okay? So who gives a crap what people think about your posts? Who gives a crap what people think about you being a Beachbody coach? Who cares about all that? It doesn't matter, guys. It's your life. It doesn't matter what other people think. I learned that I need to share my story and share it openly and honestly without being so scared. When I first started having the health issues and stuff, I felt, for some reason, I felt really weird sharing it. I think it's because I've always been the person that's like the strong person. I've always been the person, ever since I was a little kid, I was always the person that had to be strong, move forward. You know, there's no breaking down. You got to pick up the pieces and you got to move forward. So I hate sympathy. Like, I'm really, really bad about sympathy. And when I start getting sympathy from people, I start feeling bad. Like, get that away from me. Like, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't want it. So I think for me, sharing what was going on with me was hard, really hard in the beginning, because I didn't want the sympathy. And the other thing is, I was afraid that people would start looking at me like I'm weak. I seriously had this fear that if I shared that I was going through health issues as a health and fitness coach, people weren't going to come to me. They weren't going to sign up with me. I had these thoughts that people were going to be like, oh no, Steph is too sick. I can't go to her for help because she's not going to be able to help me because she's too sick right now. So I had all these like crazy fears, and I just started sharing my story, and I found out that not only did none of those fears happen, but there's so many people out there who have the same struggles that I have right now. And it's crazy. I've already been able to help multiple people start to get better with things that they were going through, that I'm going through, that they didn't have answers to, or they didn't know where to start, or they didn't know how to take care of their bodies because they weren't a health and fitness coach. So I've already been able to help tons of people just from sharing that story. And I just learned to stop being so afraid of all the stupid little fears, like everything I just named. Like, if I share this, somebody's going to think this, or if I say this, somebody's going to think this. So I don't know that I could take that out of me and put it into you guys to help eliminate all of those fears and to help you guys appreciate all of the things. But I hope that at least, guys, what is going on right now? I hope that at least sharing that with you maybe kind of makes you stop and think, like, what am I letting hold me back for silly reasons? Or, you know, what am I taking for granted? Or what am I approaching with more of a negative or, you know, a lax attitude instead of approaching it like with gratefulness and excitement? So the last thing I want to say about all that is, if I can get through almost an entire year in my business dealing with all of that, because like I said, guys, not only was it my health, this might sound crazy, but I tell people that I literally feel like I was under attack in 2017 from evil or the devil or whatever. Because not only was it my health, but it was my business. And I was getting hit hard with people trying to come in and take my coaches, or, you know, poach my coaches, or tell them just all these lies. People leaving Beachbody that I was intertwined with, and they're bashing Beachbody, and they're just flat out just telling lies. And it was hard. Like, it was hard. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Going through that transition of everything was freaking difficult. And there was times where I was like, I felt like my back was against the wall, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do. Like, I don't know what else I can do. So I went through it. I came out on the other side stronger. Things are great. All the fears I had about everything that was going to fall apart or whatever happened didn't happen. And I'm in a good spot now. So if I can go through all that in my life and in my business for almost an entire year and come back out and still things be okay, I want you guys to know that the struggles that you go through in your business, you can overcome them. You can overcome them. And we all think our struggles are harder, right? Like what I went through was really difficult to me. You know, I kind of want to put my struggles up here. But I do believe that there are some things that we make so much bigger than they are. There's so many silly struggles that we just make so much bigger than they really need to be. So the reason I say that is if I can go through what I feel like were the biggest struggles I've ever had in my business or in my life during the life of my business, if I can get through that, you guys can get through whatever you're going through. You just have to dive in. You have to be proactive. You have to remain positive. You have to have faith or whatever it is that gets you through. And you have to hang on for the ride until you come back out on the other side. That's just what you have to do. All right. So another thing that I want to transition into is that this business, guys, it's not hard. It's another thing that I realized when I was going through all of that. This business, it's not hard. I get that sometimes it takes effort and sometimes there's letdowns, you know, or whatever it is, there's struggles, whatever. And sometimes we feel like, oh my God, it's so difficult. But really, like, overall, looking at everything, this business really is not difficult. It's not hard. For me, sitting back and reflecting on everything, what I feel is hard would be leaving my sick kids to go to work, or go wherever I have to go. Feeling trapped in a job that I hate. I did that for 5 years, constantly being threatened for no reason that I'm going to lose my job. Missing special events that you can't ever get back, special moments, whatever it is, things that once you miss them, they're gone. You can't get them back. I think if we take the things that we want and we don't want to miss and we weigh them with the struggles that we have in the business or the things that we think are hard or whatever it is, I think we will find that whatever we feel is hard in the business is not near as hard as those other things that we don't want to give up or we don't want to endure or we don't want to miss out on. And it's, for whatever reason, it's too easy to sit back and just say, well, this is just what I have to do. It's just what I have to do. And don't get me wrong. In the beginning, it is what you have to do. And it does take time to get where you want to be. And it's not like I became a Beachbody coach and overnight, you know, I was able to stay home with my kids and do all these things. I still had hair on the side that I was doing. So I'm not telling you guys that you need to walk into it and, you know, forget about everything else. But you need to remember those goals and you need to remember that why. And you need to keep working for that because you're going to get there as long as you keep doing it. But if you keep telling yourself that, you know, oh, those things, it's not that bad to miss out on, or the business is too hard or whatever it is, then you're not ever going to get there because you're not allowing yourself to get there. Okay. And the same thing goes for the challenger side of things. Working out and eating healthy, guys, is not freaking hard. It's not hard. And I was so guilty of this, like eating healthy. I'm like, oh my gosh, like prepping my meals or having to like eat healthy food. It's so difficult. It's so time consuming. It's so hard. And it's not hard. What's hard is when you are being put on medication for the rest of your life. or going through multiple tests to find out what's wrong with you, or being diagnosed with a life-altering illness, okay? Those things are hard, and the problem is a lot of people don't stop and think about exercise and eating healthy, or they don't stop and consider it until they're on that other side. And then once you're on that other side of all the unhealthy stuff, then it's really hard to get back. So just realize that the challenger side of things isn't difficult, and stop allowing your challengers to act like it's difficult. Stop enabling that mentality. And I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. Actually, I'm going to talk more about that right now. So I wanted to share, I tell you, don't enable your challengers in that. And I'm telling you this because I used to do this. I used to be really guilty of this, until I realized that it's not that hard. So I want to tell you a story about something that happened today. So I had a challenger. She's actually not my challenger. She is one of my coach's challengers who I am working with for my coach. And the girls, if you're in my challenge group, you probably saw it. But the girls in my challenge group, we were all kind of sharing how we're already like seeing really good results with 80-day obsession. So I started working with this girl. I was told that she's doing 80-day obsession. So everybody's commenting like their results, and she ends up putting a comment that says something like, Stephanie, I need your help with nutrition. I'm not seeing results. And I'm like, how are you not seeing results? So I comment back, I'm like, are you following the 80-day obsession meal plan? No, I'm clean eating and drinking protein shakes, but I'm gaining weight. And I was like, okay, we're going to take this to a message. So I end up messaging her, and I'm like, I forget what I said, but basically I'm like, so why exactly are you not, because I knew for sure she was doing the 80-day obsession workout. So I'm like, why exactly are you not following the 80-day obsession meal plan? And her response was, because the meal plan is too much, or no, I'm sorry. She didn't say that. She just said, because it is too much work. So I read her message, and I'm thinking about, you're gaining weight. You're telling me you're gaining weight while you're watching all these other girls that are telling you they're getting awesome results, and you're complaining about it, but you're telling me it's too much work. So I'll be totally honest with you guys. My first reaction was I wanted to throw my phone at the wall. And I'm like, you want me to tell you what's too much work? This conversation is too much work. That's what's too much work. But then I took it in and I looked at it from a different side. And I'm going to tell you what the Steph would have done back in the day, though. I would have read that message and I would have said either A, she's just not there yet, or I would have said B, I'm a people pleaser and I'm too self-conscious in my ability to be a coach, and I'm going to tell her whatever she wants to hear. And my response probably would have been, all right, girl, I get it. No worries. Just keep doing the workouts. Let's talk about how you can clean up your eating. That's what I would have done back in the day. And a lot of coaches do that. And let me tell you why you do that. You do that because you don't have the confidence in yourself as a coach. And there's probably a few different reasons why you don't have that confidence. Like you might not be being a product of the product yourself, or you haven't seen results yourself, or you're not doing enough personal development to realize how freaking awesome you are as a coach and how much you have to offer these people. But since I've done a lot of growing since those days, I responded to her and I said, listen, I get it. I don't like to, I forget exactly how I said it, but basically I said, I'm the type of person that does not like to spend a ton of time with meals and cooking. I'm not that person because I'm not that person. And I was just like nice, but I was honest with her. And I told her flat out, if you want results, you got to follow the meal plan. you're complaining to me that you're gaining weight. I'm giving you the answer. You have to follow it. And her response to me was, I know, it's not a good enough excuse. And so we went back and forth, and she's gonna try the meal plan for at least a week. But the whole point of this story is, if I would have just backed down and been like, I know it is a lot of work or whatever, this girl would have continued on that cycle of making excuses that so many challengers continue on. But I put my foot down and I told the girl, I get it. It might not seem like the easiest thing in the world, but it's freaking worth it. You need to at least try it. And her response was, I know, it's not, the excuse isn't good enough. So she ended up realizing and admitting that her excuse wasn't enough. So I want to encourage you guys to not be afraid to have a little confidence in yourself as a coach. Don't be afraid to give your challengers and your team truth when they need it, okay? Yeah, we're here to motivate them and be their cheerleader, but we're also here to help them change. And you're not going to help anybody change by always telling them what they want to hear. And yeah, maybe you're going to tell them stuff sometimes that they don't want to hear, or it pisses them off or whatever. But you need to speak the truth, and you need to teach these people how to change. You need to demand what you want, okay? So the next thing I want to talk about, demanding what you want. I want to talk to you guys about a post that I recently put up. You might have seen it. So when I was getting ready to do the whole launch with 80-Day Obsession, I was like, something in me was like, you know what? Like, I'm not playing games this time. I'm not playing games about who I'm looking for. I don't care if nobody signs up. I am going to be selective about who I want and who I choose. Okay, go. Have Sadie go with you. And I'm going to be confident about my ability as a coach. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm going to be confident about my ability as a coach, and I know that I have something really good to offer, and I'm going to help these girls get freaking results. But I'm not taking on girls that aren't going to do what I tell them to do. So I put up a post about looking for 5 ladies, and I was actually serious. I know most coaches are like, oh, I'm looking for 5 people, and then they take 25 people. I did take 25 people for 80-Day Obsession, but I was looking for 5 people to take outside of my normal accountability group and really mentor them one-on-one. And my whole idea behind this is that I was going to work with these girls. I don't care where they were at on their fitness journey, but I was going to take them, or I am going to take them, work with them one-on-one and get them freaking kick-ass results. So, Sadie, I need you to go with him. Go. Yes. Or I'm going to send you downstairs. So I put up a whole post saying I'm looking for 5 ladies. I don't care where you're at on your fitness journey, but basically I said, like, you need to be ready to commit. I don't remember exactly what the post said. You guys can go back and look at it on my page if you want to know exactly what it said. It's where I was squatting down and I was like holding up my hand with the 5 or whatever. And in my post, I said, I'm going to be selective about who I choose. And I said, because your time is valuable and so is mine. And that sentence right there, your time is valuable and so is mine, is something that, like, I never would have been brave enough to say before. I would have felt like weird, like I'm being like, egotistical or whatever. And then I realized that as a coach, like who I am, I have a lot to offer somebody, and my time is valuable. So I can say that, and it's okay. I can demand that those people that I want are going to respect the fact that my time is valuable. And in turn, they're going to realize that their time is valuable. So they're actually going to put in the effort. And I can tell you guys that that post did not have a before and after picture, okay? Normally, my posts with before and after pictures, like my results, inviting to my challenge groups, usually get the most interaction. it was a simple picture of me holding my hand up like this. I got so much interaction on that post. I had so many girls reach out to me. And I think it's because I finally gained that confidence to really demand what I was looking for. And it sparked something in them to go, okay, she's serious. Maybe I should be serious about this too. I ended up signing up like 4 girls from the post who are like all in. 2 of them, they were both like, I'm like really out of shape. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. Like they were scared to death. And I'm like, listen, you're going to do it. We're going to do it. And they signed up and went in full force. Then I had probably about 10, I don't know, between 5 to 10 girls that reached out asking questions. But when they saw that I was serious about it, they kind of backed out. And here's the thing. If I really wanted to talk them into joining, I probably could have, but I didn't want that because I don't want to sign up 25 challengers and have 20 of them do nothing. I want to sign up 10 challengers who are ready to freaking run. I want to give them my one-on-one attention and I want to get them results. Because finding people who are motivated, who are actually going to do it, and keeping them motivated and giving them that one-on-one attention that they want and getting them results is what is going to propel your business forward. Because let me tell you guys something. When you sign up 25 challengers and you are all over the place, you're spread too thin, you're not giving them attention, you're not helping them get results, they weren't serious enough in the beginning to know what they were getting themselves into, or they didn't actually have that commitment. You just talked them into it. That might get you Success Club points, and that's awesome. That's great. We're aiming for those, but it's not really going to do much for you as, foundation for your business. So I know that it's not always like there's a ton of people out there and you can pick and choose or whatever. But what I'm telling you guys is don't waste so much time on people who are freaking all over the place or not ready to commit or whatever. Don't spend so much time on those people that you miss out on the ones who are ready. Because there are people out there who are ready for your help. You just have to find them. That goes for challengers and coaches. Let me tell you something else I'm not doing anymore in my business. I'm not wasting time on coaches who want to waste my time. Now, don't get me wrong. I am here for everybody. And when somebody comes to me, I get back to them right away. I'm here for you. Okay. But I am not messaging coaches every week who haven't done anything or said a word or went MIA for 2 months. I am not messaging coaches over and over again who are not responding to my messages. I'm not doing any of that anymore because I don't want to waste my time on people who don't appreciate my time. I want to spend my time on people who value my time, value their own time, and they actually want to get results, okay? So I kind of got off track with that. I think the whole point of that was to tell you guys to not be afraid to demand what you want, because you'll find that when you flip that switch in your head and you say, this is what I'm attracting into my business. And these are the people that I'm spending my time with. And these are the people that I am not wasting my time or energy on anymore. And you can't just say it. Like, you really have to have that mental switch. And when you do, you're going to find that your business takes a different shift. People are going to want to work with you because they feed off of that energy. They feed off of the energy of the coach who knows that their time is valuable. They don't feed off of the energy of the coach who's like, I'm running a challenge group. I'm looking for a couple ladies. And then when you talk to them in messages, they're like, no, Shakeology is too expensive. And you're like, yeah, no, I totally get it. Don't worry, we're going to do the workouts. No, you need to have confidence, and you need to say, look, I get it. I thought the same thing, but let me tell you what this stuff has done for me. Okay. Or, when somebody's like, oh, like my girls, that were scared to sign up, when they're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it, you're going to tell them, you can do it because I'm going to be here with you, pushing you, and we're going to make it happen. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be difficult, but we're going to freaking do this together. Okay. Now, there's a difference between trying to talk somebody, trying to persuade somebody into doing something that they don't want to do, and calling bullshit on people's excuses. Okay. You got to kind of filter between the two. But a lot of times people really just need that confidence. They need you to show them, like, listen, I've got what you need and I've got you. You do this with me and you're going to go places. Okay. And that goes for challengers and coaches. All right. So the other thing is, you need to make sure that you are setting the example. And I know we've talked about this before, but I'm going to point it out again because I think it's something that sometimes we forget. I know it's something that I freaking forget, and I was guilty of last year, okay? You need to be the challenger that you want to attract, okay? So that means that you need to be active in your challenge groups. You don't just start a challenge group and add a bunch of girls to it and go MIA and not do anything in there, because that is not why they signed up with you to be their coach. And that sets a terrible example for what you want them to do, okay? You need to be a product of the product yourself. Guys, if you're not talking about your workouts at all, you're not talking about your nutrition at all, you're not setting an example for other people. Why would they want to sign up with you if you're not even showing them that you're a part of that? You know, I mean, that's like telling somebody, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Why is somebody going to want to spend money to sign up with you if you're not even doing it? And you need to be showing people that you're getting results. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to have some new before and after picture every 6 months, because at some point you're probably going to get to a point where your results are kind of just maintaining. But at that point, oh, hold on. My thing's trying to shut off. When you get to a spot where you feel like you're just maintaining and you're like, oh, what do I talk about? You can always go back. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to reset my computer. You can always go back and you can find where you were when you started. Share that, okay? It doesn't have to be a physical transformation. Share about what it's done for you mentally. Share about where you see yourself in the future. Just share something that is showing them some type of results, okay? So you need to be the challenger that you want to attract, and you need to be the coach that you want to attract. I talk to so many coaches who want to grow their business. They want to grow their business. They want this big business, but they're not even coaches themselves yet. They signed up and they made themselves coaches, but they've yet to actually do the vital behaviors. If you want to grow a team and you want to grow a business, you need to first start being the coach that you want to attract, because I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to attract people that want to work and want to grow a business if you don't want to work and grow a business. So the simplest thing that I can tell you guys to do to build a team and grow a business is to start acting like a coach, treating yourself like a coach, owning the fact that you're a coach, being confident in that, and doing the vital behaviors, which I hate the term doing the vital behaviors. It sounds so cliche and boring to me. We all know what the vital behaviors are, but you need to be posting, okay? You need to be talking to people. You need to be building relationships. You need to be doing your workouts. You need to be talking about being a product of the product, and you need to be growing yourself, okay? Whether that is reading personal development books or listening to podcasts, getting on these team calls, going to church, whatever it is that helps you grow in the areas that you're lacking or the areas that you need to grow, that's what you need to be doing, okay, for personal development. Okay. So you need to be doing the vital behaviors. And the other thing you need to do is you need to be positive and you need to stop complaining. I see this all the time, not so much on our team, but obviously I'm involved in lots of teams and stuff everywhere. I've been coaching for a long time. And in the 80-day obsession coach test group, let me tell you guys, there was sometimes where I had to hold my little typing fingers back. And there was one time where I did get on and say something nicely, but the amount of people complaining, I haven't gotten my package yet. Beachbody should not be selling these if they can't keep up with it, and blah, blah, and I'm like, how about the fact that you're a coach and you should be freaking excited about the fact that this freaking program is so huge that Beachbody can't keep up with getting everything out because it's that big, because there are hundreds of thousands of people ordering and they are trying their hardest to get that crap out. Courtney, I have to share her example because I'm going in, I'm reading all these coaches who some of them have probably freaking been coaches forever. Meanwhile, I have Courtney, my coach, who is a newer coach. And she actually ordered her pack before a lot of these people did that were complaining. And so I'm seeing all these people complain and I'm like, damn it, I knew Courtney was in that group and I'm like, I don't want her getting discouraged from all these freaking negative Nancys, and on top of it, I want to make sure that she's okay with the fact that she's waiting on her pack. And her response to me without me even prompting it was, girl, it is what it is. I'm not letting this stop me. And I was like, heck yeah, that is the coach that I want on my team. That's my team. And I know that's my team because that's how she's reacting to this. And that's what you want to attract, guys. And you're only going to attract those people by being that person. And if you have a coach that you attract to your team that's negative or they like to complain or whatever, the only way they're ever going to change is if you stop enabling them to be that person, okay? And this is something else that I used to be guilty of all the time too. Somebody would come to me with a silly complaint, okay? Something that happens, it's just a part of life. And I would be like, oh, okay, don't worry, calm down, And now my response when things like that happen is, dude, it's a part of life. It's going to be all right. We're going to get through it. Let's figure it out. What can we do? Let's put one foot in front of the other and move forward because it's not that big of a freaking deal. And one of the girls that was complaining about not getting her package in the group, my response was just, listen, it's a normal part of life. Stop and think about what's actually happening. Okay, so you didn't get your package with your bands and your sliders. And she was upset because she wasn't going to have her Energize and she has kids and she can't work out without Energize. So I'm like, okay, so you don't even need the sliders until day 3. So don't worry about the sliders. You're going to have it by then. You're not going to have the bands. I get it. That sucks. Whatever. Do the first 2 workouts without the bands. It's not going to matter. You're still going to get a workout. It's all good. Then you're not going to have your Energize right away. I get it. That kind of sucks. So if you really can't start your workout with some caffeine, wake up and you chug some black coffee for the first 2 days and you just get it done. And the last thing I said to her was, it's all good. Guys, things like those that we complain about, problems with customer service or you got something in the mail and it was the wrong thing. It is a simple fix most of the time. Now, I will say there's been some circumstances with people with customer service where it was a bit of a cluster and those people, they have all the right to be upset and I would be too. But majority of the time, it's a simple fix. You call them, you say, hey, you sent me the wrong thing. And they'll go, oh, no problem. We'll get it shipped right to you. Whatever it is, whatever the situation is, just make sure you're not complaining over silly things, and that goes for your presence on social media as well. don't be complaining about silly stuff. Don't be complaining about stuff in life that is really not that big of a deal. Because when you do that, those are the type of people that you're going to attract. And those are going to be the people that freaking make this business miserable for you, because all they do is complain. Okay. So for example, if I would have been attracting people like that, when I reached out to Courtney and was like, hey, has your pack come yet? She would have been like, no, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to have it. And I just never should have signed up as a coach. This company sucks. You know, you don't want to surround yourself with those kind of people. That's miserable. I've been surrounded by those people because I used to attract those people. I don't know. I didn't really complain. I don't know how I did it. I think maybe I was too nice and I enabled them. So when you enable that behavior and attract that behavior, it sucks. You don't want it. So stop complaining about silly things. Look on the bright side. Instead of wasting time worrying about silly things, spend your time going, okay, what can we do quickly to fix this and move on to the next thing, okay? And then the last thing that I kind of want to cover, wrapping the call up. I know I said it was going to be 30 or 45 minutes, but hey, we're going to go right to the hour. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about criticism, because this is something that I've actually had a couple coaches reach out to me recently about. It's something that I still see. It's something that we're always going to see when you're in network marketing or when you have an opinion about anything in life. And I was thinking about it the other day, and it's way too easy nowadays for insecure, unhappy people to go on social media and frickin' criticize somebody or try to bring them down to their level, or the stupid frickin' Facebook posts that are aimed towards somebody, you know, like they're hoping that you're going to read the post and know that it's aimed towards you. It's like there's so much of that out there, and unfortunately social media makes it way too easy. But I want to encourage you guys not to fall into that. Don't fall into that crap, okay? You're bigger and you're better than that. So I wanted to share with you guys something that happened to me recently, because a lot of people think that I don't encounter criticism. And I do often, by lots of people, my family, my friends, my social media friends, people who don't like me. I encounter it quite often, but you'll never hear me talk about it because I don't engage in it, because I don't care. Because I truly don't care what people think about me speaking my truth and sharing my story and things that I'm passionate about. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that you need to be an asshole that doesn't care about what anybody in the world thinks, and you know, you can post and talk about whatever you want and everybody can go screw themselves. Like, that's not the mentality I'm talking about. Having that mentality is just as bad as being the person that is bashing people or criticizing people. But what I'm telling you guys is that you should be able to get to a point in your life and in your business where and if you're not there yet, you'll get there. I got there probably about a year or so ago, where you feel so confident in yourself, and you found like a self-love for yourself and like a pure love for the world, that you're okay with sharing your truth and knowing that you're doing it for the right reasons, and knowing that all you're really doing is sharing your truth, and that if other people don't like that, that's not your problem, because it's not like you're trying to hurt people, or it's not like you're bashing people or whatever it is. You're just being yourself. And if other people don't like that, it doesn't matter. Okay. So anyways, back to the thing, something that happened to me. So you guys probably saw that when I put up that vision board, my vision board that I made, there was a little emblem that said cancer free. Okay. So as you guys all know, I have not been diagnosed with cancer, and I'm hoping it's going to stay that way. So there's a couple of reasons why I chose that quote. I was going for the black and white, because when I tell you, when you do your vision board, you really need to use font and colors and things that speak to you, and they like kind of get you excited, for lack of a better word, when you look at them. So I chose that for the font and the colors. And then when I read the words cancer free, to me, it meant that I was envisioning walking into 2018 with a diagnosis of no cancer, or B, if it is a diagnosis in 2008, I'm going to beat it. Okay. So my vision board, my thought process, what spoke to my mind and achieved what I wanted my mind to achieve on my business vision board. And that's what I put on there. And I will tell you guys that anybody can find anything to criticize you about if they want to in the moment. And I won't tell you who did it, because I don't think that they did it maliciously or for the wrong reasons or whatever. It was somebody close to me, but I ended up getting a text saying, "Were you diagnosed with cancer?" And as soon as I read the text, I was like, I haven't been diagnosed. Like, what's going on. So right away, I'm like, okay, what's this leading to? So long story short, they were upset that I put the words cancer free on my vision board. And I explained what I just explained to you guys and said, this is why I put this. This is how it spoke to me. And they told me that it looks really, really bad to other people, that I should take it down. And if I want to put something, I should put cancer-free diagnosis. And that there could be people out there undergoing chemo or something like that right now. So, I need to take it down. It looks really bad. So I'll be honest with you, my first reaction, it hurt. It was hurtful. I texted my mom and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Nobody ever supports me and they're always giving me crap for everything I do. So I want you guys to know that I do have those moments. And I was a little bit hurt. And then a couple minutes later, I was like, because I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because when I put that on my vision board, I didn't put it up because I wanted people to think I have cancer. Or I didn't put it up because I was trying to get attention behind cancer. And not only that, but I'm pretty sure that somebody that is undergoing chemotherapy would understand what it feels like in the moment where you're presented with, you might have cancer. And of course, the person criticizing me did not have cancer or anything to do with it. So my response to them was nothing. So after I explained myself a little bit, because it was a person that I felt like I needed to explain myself to, and then they said I need to take it down or whatever, I was like, how should I respond? What should I do? And I did nothing. And the reason I did nothing is because I have learned that when you don't engage in that kind of behavior and when you don't engage in that kind of energy, it puts an end to it, okay? So the old me probably would have gone, oh crap, like is somebody going to be offended by that? And I would have taken it down and I would have changed it. But the new me who knows that I'm doing nothing wrong by sharing my story and something that speaks to me, I didn't need to change it. And I also did not need to continue to explain myself. And that is the attitude that I want you guys to have in your business. You can live your life and live it unapologetically. And it doesn't matter what other people think, okay? It doesn't matter if other people criticize you. If somebody wants to find something to criticize you about, they will grasp for straws and find whatever they want. And also, don't waste your time trying to convince them otherwise, okay? You release that negative energy and you say, nope, you're not bringing it into my little circle. It ain't happening no more. I'm not engaging in that. And you let it go and you freaking move on with your life, okay? And then another thing I want to talk about is, which kind of goes along with the same thing, is like the bashing and the criticism and all that kind of stuff. I just want to share with you guys another personal example of what I go through that I don't really talk about, but how I handle it. So just to give you a little example, I still have people that want to bash me and whatever. There is somebody that left Beachbody to go work for another MLM company. I do not have a relationship with them anymore. I do not engage with them. I do not look at their Facebook posts. I have no desire to have this person or their energy in my life. It was brought to my attention recently that I guess it's kind of turned into this like game of chess with my post. I guess like I posted something about me and the kids playing Beachbody Monopoly. And then I guess after that, they did a post about like making fun of how Beachbody gave them board games. Then I shared a post the other day with a sentence in it where I talked about MLM companies, and how what I said is that I was sharing like taking everybody through the story of like how things aren't always easy and you know what I've gone through. And I was literally sharing my story, okay? And I say that because I want you guys to realize that that's important. You need to make sure that you're sharing your story and you're not sharing posts to bash other people. So in this, I talked about how a couple of people that I worked alongside of left Beachbody to go work for other MLM companies because greed and fear, either or, got to them. And then unfortunately, they felt like in order to be successful in their new company, the only way that they could be successful was by bashing Beachbody. And I left it at that, which I will tell you guys, I have a lot of passion behind that subject. It doesn't upset me, but it sets me on fire when I see the lies that these people tell, because this business is very important to me. I'm passionate about it. And it bothers me when I see people who are lying to people and trying to convince people of something that's not true. So I left it at that in that paragraph, and I literally was just sharing my story of what had transpired in my business to bring me to the point of being a better coach and a better leader. And I guess apparently this person took that paragraph and wrote up a whole post, like lashing back at me, okay, for what I put in my paragraph. And I'm going to tell you guys what I did and how I reacted, okay? I did nothing, not a single thing, because again, I don't care. I'm not engaging in that energy. When I am sharing my post, it is not to put other people down, which I will tell you, it was hard for me in the beginning when people were lashing at me or they were bashing Beachbody or whatever. It was hard for me to sit back and not say anything, but I didn't, because I realized that, first of all, people who do that, okay, they're unhappy people. Normally, they're unhappy people who are searching for something, or they are feeling guilty about something or whatever it is. And again, that is something, that's energy that you don't want to bring into your life or your business. So I don't care what this person says about me or my business or my posts or whatever. I don't care, because all I'm doing is sharing my story and sharing what I'm passionate about. And when you get wrapped up, like, and it happens with stuff besides just Beachbody too. You know, I see it all the time where people put up those posts like, oh, she doesn't even know what she's in for. But like, no name, but we all know it's aimed towards that one person who you're hoping is going to see it. And then next thing you know, there's another post. Oh, she doesn't know what she's in for. And you're like, oh, there it is. There's the person that it was aimed for. And now they're aiming back. And then it becomes like this tit for tat freaking stupid argument crap on Facebook that people engage in all the time that we don't need to engage in. So if people are criticizing you on your posts, or they're criticizing you in your life, or they're bashing you, guys, ignore that energy and move on, because there are too many people and too many opportunities out there for you guys to get caught up in that crap. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when you get caught up in it, it clouds your vision. It puts this freaking cloud of crap over your vision, and you're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel discouraged. You're going to start feeling discouraged from your goals. You're going to start doubting yourself. You need to just keep that energy away from you. So if that means not engaging in it, it means not engaging in it. If that means deleting those people off of your social media, delete them off of your social media. If you don't want to go that far, unfollow them. If it's people that are physically in your life that you know do not support you and they don't really care about you when it comes down to it, get rid of those people out of your life. That's another thing that I did last year. I got rid of people. That sounds really bad when I say it, but I quit allowing people to be in my life who did nothing but bring me down. And it's crazy. It's really, really hard in the beginning when you start doing it. It's really difficult because those people, they like to freaking lash out, and they like to, try to make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing or whatever. But once you finally get past that, it's so much more peaceful, and like your vision is so much more clear when you surround yourself with like things that you lift you up. So if you find that you're going on your Facebook and the like post or whatever that people that, certain people are sharing, if those people are like discouraging you, or you find that you look at their stuff and you automatically feel like doubtful or discouraged or just down and blah, unfollow those people. That's one thing that you guys need to get really clear on and selfish about is it's like having a vision board, okay? Your Facebook needs to be surrounded by people who make you feel good. It needs to be surrounded by people who make you excited. It needs to be surrounded by people who make you realize how much potential there is and, how big your goals should be. It doesn't need to be surrounded by people that are planting little seeds of doubt into your mind, or people who are negative and sharing pictures of dead dogs. Maybe you like that kind of thing, but I've been having a lot of friends do that lately. And I'm like, I got to get this out of my newsfeed. This like brings me down. I don't want to see this. So protect your energy. I sound like a weird person tonight with like all the energy. I don't know. I didn't really plan on totally getting on that subject, but I do think that that's another thing that I learned like through this transition is that it's so important to protect that like mental energy and, remain excited and positive. So that's pretty much it with all that, guys. I just wanted to encourage you. If people are criticizing you or whatever, it's probably coming from a dark place inside of them. I've never known somebody that criticizes other people when they're happy with where they're at. And you can really probably stop and think about your own life. There's been times where we've all freaking gossiped or talk crap about somebody. Shoot, in high school, think about who you were in high school. You were probably jealous of every girl that was potentially prettier than you. And why did you feel that way? It's because you were insecure, and you were unhappy with where you were at. But then when you get to a place where you're feeling really good about yourself, it's like you just want to pump everybody up, you want to support everybody. So people are criticizing you or trying to bring you down or bashing you or whatever. It's probably coming from a crappy place inside of them. It has nothing to do with you. Don't let it freaking get to you and bring you down. Just protect your energy, like I said, and keep pushing forward. So, all right, that's all I got to talk about tonight. Does anybody want to talk about 80-day obsession and maybe where you're at and how your challengers are doing? I know, Courtney, I know where you're at. Linda.
Hi. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm doing pretty good with the challenge. I have one person that's doing it with me. She's doing really well. I'm really, really excited about it because it actually has me in the kitchen for once. I'm not a fan of cooking. So but I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job staying on point with the nutrition, the time nutrition. And I'm really excited. Like, it's going really well so far. So pretty pumped, and so is my challenger. She's really excited too.
And what are your results so far?
Well, you know what? I stepped on the scale, and I'm not a scale person, but I stepped on the scale the other day, yesterday, and it was down. I was down 5 pounds. I'm like, is that even possible? Like, I know, I'm sure it's just like water weight or whatever, but I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, well, I'm going to stay away from it because I don't want to get obsessed with that. But I just have a lot of energy, and I'm getting up earlier to get the workouts done, which has been working out pretty well too. But I'm like stoked. Like, I need to focus more on my own Facebook page rather than like other social medias like Instagram or Snapchat. And I think it's just a fear that I see everyone else's posts and they're so encouraging, and I just need to do it. And I know I'm not doing it. And again, trying to find time to do that. But I know that's where I need to work on.
You have that, that mindset shift where you kind of let that fear go, and you just kind of start doing it. Next thing you notice, you'll be like on fire, and you like won't be able to stop the post. You'll be like, crap, I can't post again today. Like, I can't do another great post because I've already done 3 today. And I think it really is just a matter of like opening up your mind and, you know, getting excited. When you get excited and stuff, it's like all the other stuff, like the clouded vision that I talk about, you know, the fear, it kind of goes away, and then you're able to kind of get all that creativity and stuff flowing. So just practice, really.
Yeah.
Just practice, and like I said, letting go of the fear of what other people think, because who cares?
Yeah,
Who cares?
that's true. That's exactly it. Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted you to tell them how you lost 5 pounds already. That's awesome. I think it probably could be water weight, but honestly, like, I already see a big difference. And like I was talking to you and Leslie about this, like, I can tell that my metabolism is different. And honestly, like, I feel better, like, and I'm not even drinking coffee, you know, and I have energy. And for a while there, I was having like headaches every day, major fatigue, and a lot of that is going away. It's crazy how just like eating right can do that for you.
Yep. Same here. No, I'm really, really excited, and I really want to share it to the world, because it's just, it seems so simple, hard, but not. I don't know how to explain it, but when you get it, you get it, and I just want to share that.
Yeah, it really just takes practice and just having that moment where it just clicks, and you just got to keep working for that. It's not really something that somebody else can do for you. A lot of us have struggled with it. I know Leslie, like in the beginning, she was being held back like a lot. And then I'm sure you guys all see her post now. She's freaking on fire, and we talk about it all the time. And it's like, she just had that like switch. And once that switch went off, it was go time, you know? So I think just hanging in there and just continuing to do it really is the key. And surrounding yourself with action-oriented people. That's another thing that I've been preaching a lot lately. Surround yourself with coaches who are doing stuff, you know, and engage with them and talk to them. And don't be afraid to form like pods and things like that, because just seeing other people do it can really motivate you to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
But so I was thinking maybe at like week 1 of 80-day obsession, like, so Monday, something I might do in my challenge group is I might have everybody get on the scale, which I am so hesitant to do this. Like, I do not preach about the scale, but I was thinking either have them get on the scale or do inches, or just kind of talk about how they're feeling. Or maybe all 3 is something you guys can do too if you want. But what I was going to do is I was going to create a thread where I just let them all know, like, hey, you know, I would love to be able to share this so I can prove to people who are doubting this program or maybe on the fence about it or whatever, I can let them know like the amazing things that it's doing for us. So if you guys don't mind sharing, I'm going to create a thread for everybody to share their results and then kind of walk them through it. And then I'll share on my personal page. And I haven't decided if I will just share those results or if I will share them and tag the people. Because, you know, I think a lot of times when you actually like tag somebody and people know that it's like you, like people you personally know, and it's not just like a picture from like Beachbody corporate or something, it kind of makes it more personal. So that's kind of an idea I had at week 1, because I've just been kind of trying to share as we go, like what's happening for all of my potentials, because I do have a lot of people right now on the fence about it. So I'm just continuing to share about that. So that's something you guys can try too if you want. We could always create something in the team page too. I know we have a ton of us in the team page doing it. We could always create a thread in the team page where we all kind of share about it. So whatever you guys think. But does anybody else have anything they want to say about 80-Day Obsession or anything else going on?
I feel like our group is doing really well. We have a bunch of girls. We all started with a little obsessed and we like worked our way into it. And everybody is just like so excited. Like I've never had a challenge group with more participation in my life. Like everybody is so fired up. They're seeing results because they're actually following the nutrition plan, which like I feel like other programs people will like dabble, but like everybody is so laser focused because I feel like there was this huge lead up to it and we're all like all in. And then today we even did like an all in check-in because did you see the post Autumn posted in the test group? She was like, check in with your she was like, check in with your challengers because, you know, it's easy to get excited about a program, but then a couple days in you realize it's challenging and you start to have disbelief in yourself. So I went in tonight, and I did like an all-in check, and I'm like, how are you guys feeling? Are you sore? Like, what's going on? Are you doubting yourself? Just to like open up the conversation, just to see where everyone's at, even though it's only day 3, but like 3 days in, you start feeling sore and you start feeling that maybe doubt. So
that's funny because I was planning on tomorrow doing a post about discouragement in my group, because my group, that's actually something I was going to touch on. My group's on fire too. And I seriously think that it all stems from us guys. You know, me and Leslie with our groups and Devin, like we were all very excited for this program and we led up to that. And then on top of that, we're following it to a T and we're setting that example and we're sharing that with people. And then we're also demanding that from other people. Like I talked about with that girl, you know, we're not just letting people off the hook. I can't tell you how many people I had ask me, what if I do the workouts, but I follow the 21-day fixed meal plan? And I'm like, nope, ain't happening. You can't say that you're doing 80-Day Obsession unless you're doing 80-Day Obsession. Courtney knows I went in the group like 10 times and I'm like, listen, this is what Autumn said. This is how you do it. This is what we're doing. Period. And of course I have a couple girls that are probably doing their own thing, but I really do think that people like feed off of what we're doing. But I was kind of thinking today how it is like that second, third day, the excitement kind of starts to wear off. This is something you guys might want to think about for your challengers too. The excitement's wearing off a little bit and it's getting a little bit more real and they're like, okay, like I am sore and I might be kind of getting bored with some of the food and I'm starting to maybe think about not doing this for 80 days and just kind of going in and just reminding everybody like, we're in this, you've got it. This is normal. Don't get discouraged. It's going to get easier. So, yeah. Oh, poor Leslie. All right, ladies. Well, thank you for getting on the call. If you guys have any other questions or about anything or anything that's going on in your world or your business, feel free to bring them to me. And I'm always happy to cover any subjects that you guys want me to cover on the call. We're going to have a couple other people speaking on the calls here soon, so you guys can get a different perspective, which is always awesome. And really, I just wanted to tell you guys that our team, we're killing it right now, guys. You guys are freaking doing awesome. Like, I am so pumped for what is going to happen this year for our team. I'm not even looking at numbers or anything like that. You know, I just seeing everybody like come together and do what they said they're going to do and put in the effort. It's awesome. And I really want you guys to keep that momentum going, because if you keep that momentum going, that's what's going to grow your business. So don't fall off and don't fall back to old habits, and don't let all those fears and everything get in the way that we talked about. And if you find that you're struggling with those things, come to me, reach out to somebody, you know, team up with action-oriented coaches, team up with coaches that are actually working the business, that are passionate about it, that aren't doubtful about it. And just keep that momentum going. I really seriously think it's going to be a super awesome year. I can tell you guys that I have never been more clear in my vision and my future. And there is nothing that is going to shake me this year. I'm not stupid. I know I'm going to have challenges and struggles coming my way. We all do. But I'm in a really good place where I know that it's going to be a great year. And I feel like it's going to be a really great year for you guys too. So let's keep that momentum going into the next month, and we will be talking next week. So you ladies have a good night. Bye.
Thanks. Good night. Bye.